Welcome to Survivors. This is a trilogy based on uh, a group of 4 Jedi Knights that find themselves a day and a half removed from Order 66. They have survived the initial purge and are now trying to find their place in the galaxy, see what's going on. This particular episode is named Fear. In about 3 weeks, we will have episode 2 named Anger, and then 2 weeks after that will be the episode named Hate. There will be about a year's time, 6 months to a year's time between each episode. Not as big a gap as some of my games have had, but a big enough gap for things to develop and that sort of thing. Tonight we're joined by a group of 4 players. Some of them I've played with before, some of them are new to me, but not new to Tides of Change. We're going to start off having them introduce themselves. We'll start off with from my right to left, so that'll be Sean, then Mikey, then Lee, and then okay, your name shows up as Blue Falcon for some reason on mine, so I don't know. Can't remember if that's Ray, I think. So if you would, each of you introduce your character a little bit, tell us about their personality as a Jedi Knight, if you chose the emotions that drive them and that kind of thing, and tempt them. Just tell us a little bit about them.
Alright, I'm Sean. I run the channel GM's Dice. I've been with the club now for a little over a year and a half. I have the honor of playing Quinn Malik tonight, a human Shicho knight. He apprenticed under Janisla Satre. He was knighted just before the Clone Wars started, given a command of his own fairly early on. Probably one of the more reckless Jedi, and that's probably how he wound up surviving the Jedi Purge. He's let's see, what did I write down here? He was raised in the Jedi Temple, found when he was about 2 years old. So the Jedi is the only thing he's ever known. Aside from that, I'll leave the rest up to discovery as we play. Next.
Mike, you gotta unmute yourself.
Alright, I am playing Sarah Kolos. She is a rather young Jedi. She was knighted during the Clone Wars. Her master was Shakti, so she really took to Shakti's style of stealth in the natural surroundings and just in general. However, she's also very capable with a lightsaber. She practices the Artreu style, so she's very aggressive and quick. Her preferred tactics is guerrilla style. She likes to hit, run, go in, hit hard and quickly, and then get out before people can hit her. She also has a pet wolf, because she's a pathfinder, named Wraith, who is very much like her. She's very much an independent person. After being knighted, she ran solo for the most part, and if she wasn't solo, she ran with a very small unit of clone troopers. But she preferred small numbers, and that's probably one of the reasons why she was able to escape the Jedi Purge. Is between her and Wraith, they were easily able to take down the small number of clone troopers that were with her when Order 66 happened. So while she's very independent, she can come off cold until she gets to know somebody, and then they're like a member of her pack.
All right, next up would be Lee with the Nautilin Protector.
All right. Hi, my name's Lee, or Joe, and I'm playing Jex Vatri. He is a Nautilin protector. He was knighted in the beginning of the Clone Wars as people started to fall. He was knighted a little bit too early, and so he still has a lot of that bravado, and he sometimes struggles with his anger. Um, he apprenticed under Plo Koon, who tried to temper his mental state, but he didn't have enough time to really work with Jex before he was knighted and given a small command of his own. He survived the Clone Wars because he's just tough as nails. He is just beefy, and he was able to escape because he is a very defensive person and very, very, like I said, tough. And so that is how he was able to escape the Clone Wars after Order 66 went down. And then I'll pass that on to Ray.
Go ahead, Rick.
Hello, I'm Ray. I have the channel BFG Tabletop. It's a little been inactive lately, but hopefully I pick that up here soon. Tonight I'll be playing Taxul, a Keldor Sentinel. He's an artisan. He also mentored under Plo Koon. He was knighted more towards the end of the Clone Wars. He was more of a he's not much of a fighter. He kind of stayed at the temple, took care of the archives, helped maintaining lightsabers and whatnot. And due to the Jedi falling, he was kind of bumped up and kind of pushed out into the Clone Wars towards the end there. He's still fairly young. I think that's pretty much it for now. We'll learn more about him later.
All right. As our session picks up, the four of these Jedi Knights have worked together in pairs or trios at various points throughout the Clone Wars. Their units have worked together, coordinated on different missions. But there's one mission in their recent past that all four of them worked on together, and that is that a couple of months ago, before the end of the war, they rooted out a pirate gang that was working off of a small moon. The particular routing, because of the fact that it had nothing to do with the Separatists directly, basically they believe it to have slipped through the cracks in the reporting, possibly, and it's a place where they were able to take refuge at. The former pirate gang's hideout on this moon is where the game will be picking up, where the four of them are here. One of the pieces of equipment that I did not indicate for the group is that you guys will have the Jedi Starfighters. Each of you have one that you managed to get away in, or some other similar vehicle that you escaped from wherever Order 66 occurred in. So, explaining how you got to a isolated moon, basically. But this is a location where you guys are somewhat familiar with it. You know it still has some supplies because the Republic military just hasn't had time to go and completely evacuate it. And you would also know that it's not going to be something you can stay at indefinitely, but it is a safe haven where you all know where it is. The session's picking up merely 2 days after Order 66. Palpatine has given his great speech announcing the Empire, and it is all over the holovids everywhere. You guys are basically watching it for the third time. It's kind of been an era of silence as you guys have gotten here, just the fact that you're all here safe. Some of you are nursing minor wounds of various kinds, with a few Bacta patches and that sort of thing, and forced meditation, but by and large it's just been kind of quiet, trying to figure out what's going on. Some of you are better at computers than others, and so you're searching for information on other Jedi. Is there any particular things, any particular resources that any of you want to be checking into as you finish watching the broadcast again?
Taxul would be trying to search the HoloNet and try and find if he can find any of the brothers or sisters that may have survived Order 66.
Okay.
Using his computer skills.
Give me a computers difficulty 3. 3 purple dice. Anyone, while he's making that roll, anyone else have any particular avenues they want to take on?
Quinn would be standing over his shoulder, seeing if he could find any information on his old master, Janice Lesatre.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, each of you probably has a few specific names you're trying to find information on, but really, it's more of a, can you find information? And holy cow.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Okay, so 2 successes and a threat, and 2 triumphs. So you, all right. The threat, I'm going to say, it just takes time. It's going to make it where it takes you a couple of hours to gather these bits of information and track down. You are able to find out that one, there are rumors of other Jedi in various sectors all across the galaxy surviving the initial attack. The way the attack is being framed is apparently there was an assassination attempt on Palpatine himself, led by none other than the hero without fear, Anakin Skywalker, Mace Windu, and Plo Koon. It is believed that Anakin Skywalker escaped and survived the attack, but it is believed that Plo Koon did not survive the attempt on Palpatine's life. There are conflicting reports as to who came to Palpatine's aid in the attack. Most people find it difficult to believe that if Palpatine himself was jumped by 3 or more Jedi Masters, that there would be no way that he would survive. But he is clearly moving and talking. I mean, he's addressing the Senate already and that sort of thing. Let's see here, another bit. Michael's master, you're able to find rumor. It indicates that her troopers survived Order 66, but they have reported that his master survived as well, that she escaped, evaded capture or elimination. So you basically are able to find that it is believed that Plo Koon is dead, that, Mikey, what was your master's name again? Sorry.
Shakti.
Shakti. It's believed that she may still be alive, or at least was at the latest report that you're able to find. As you go through the list, though, you find of the Jedi Masters that you guys know of that are around, it seems like there's only about a dozen of them that are believed to have survived the initial attacks. There is word that is filtering down that because of the attacks, the Jedi Temple has been all people at the Jedi Temple who resisted arrest were killed, and everyone else has been detained for questioning. So there is a lot of possible people alive still there, primarily younglings and younger knights, though, and even civilians that work there. So you got a lot of different avenues to go in that regard. What would you guys want to check first, or are you going to go into hiding, or what the case may be?
So we're currently at this pirate base, right?
Right. It's you guys cleared it out. Some of the systems are damaged because it got a lightsaber through something. I mean, but it's survivable, and supplies are there for a couple of days at least for you guys.
Well, while everybody's kind of settling in and doing all this, Seraph is gonna make sure our perimeter is secured,
Okay.
and make sure that we're not, being snuck up on or anything like that. Do a quick patrol with Wraith throughout the forest or whatever the surrounding area is.
It's not. It's kind of a rocky moon. It was not chosen for comfort. It was chosen because it was discreet and out of the way and whatnot.
Do I need to make any rolls, or are we good?
No. You're working on that and making sure y'all are secure in that regard. One of the triumphs from your roll attack will be that you basically have narrowed down the list, like I said, to about a dozen Jedi Masters that may still be alive. Also, you receive the the encoded message that is coming from the temple, indicating that all Jedi should return to Coruscant as soon as possible. But you also, using the Triumph, you're going to not only receive it, but you're going to realize that it does not have the proper authorization codes. There's not. Basically, it was not sent by a council member to recall that. It was someone attempting to impersonate a council member. So, what do you guys want to do? What do you feel like your characters would want to do in these moments?
I feel like Sarah personally, the only person she has a real strong connection with would be her master, so I'm sure she'd want to try to find out where she was, and if she's been slain, she'd want to, do a very un-Jedi-like thing and try to avenge her death.
Anyone else got anything specific?
I think that Jex would want to try to safeguard the future of the Jedi by creating a small sect and going into hiding. Seeing as how Plo Koon is dead, he doesn't see the point in throwing himself at his enemies until he knows what exactly is going on and where they can strike for the most damage. So I think that his first priority would be to create a haven where they can plan and secure their...
All right. Quinn and Tack, do y'all have a plan y'all are proposing as to how y'all want to approach things?
Jex pretty much said what I was thinking. Quinn would be taking stock of the supplies here at this outpost and seeing what they can take to fit in the starfighters and helping him with finding somewhere that they could set up that would be a bit safer than here, somewhere that's not as well known by the once Republic.
Right. All right. Tack, do you have anything you want to chime in there?
I think he would actually be kind of losing it a little bit. His master, he learned his master was dead, and they're kind of left alone, and he's not as strong-willed, I guess, as his compatriots that are with him.
Well, and based on the description y'all gave, Tack is one of the younger of the four, so
he's probably gonna stick with Jex.
Okay.
Get close to them, since he's got a little bit more experience, right, and was also close with Master Plo Koon.
As y'all start evaluating what supplies you have here and what of those supplies you can transport on the various vehicles you guys have, priority being foodstuffs, medical supplies, and tools, basically, because those will be useful no matter where you land. You guys, what kind of, Jex specifically and Quinn, since y'all are the ones wanting to push for a hidden base somewhere, what kind of location do you want? I mean, do you want an out-of-the-way space station? Do you want a planet that needs a colony type thing? I mean, what are you looking for?
If we're going planet, I think we should probably stick with the Outer Rim, Jex, but there's plenty of space stations that have gone forgotten through the Clone Wars. So what do you think?
I think that with a cluster of Force sensitives this large, if there are Sith at play, we won't be hard to find unless we can find a planet that can mask the fact that we are sensitive in the Force.
Okay.
Especially if we intend to gather more.
Alright, so we'll basically say that we're going to do kind of a screen wipe thing where if it was actually a movie, we'd have a little bit of a montage where you guys are taking turns at searching the database for those kinds of things, packing tools into the various starfighters that you arrived in, and discussing what the needs and pros and cons of a planet location versus a space station, and that sort of montage where it's a planning stage thing. After a bit of about a day's worth of preparations, you've got everything that not necessarily everything you would want to take from here, but you've basically successfully narrowed down to what you can pack into the various vehicles as best as possible. You've got it packed the most efficient way you know how, and that sort of thing. You also have a destination in mind that is a planet around a binary star system that is in the Outer Rim, that is within jump distance of where you guys are now, and it would also leave you with enough fuel in your fighters to make a jump to somewhere else to get more supplies once you got there. So it's basically an initial location, and it's one of those things. Y'all had compiled a list of 20 or so systems and debating pros and cons when this one popped up, like number 17, and all of you just kind of got a feeling that this is where you're supposed to go, and it was just kind of one of those unspoken moments where force guidance and you're hoping that you're hearing it right type moment, but yeah. So then you get into your various ships and jump away. This particular planet is the middle belt is very much savanna type, with the northern and southern poles being more mountainous than savannas and that sort of thing. So you've got plenty of open area choices as well as some mountains if you want to set up in the mountains. It's just a matter of where do you want to set up initially, and then go from there.
Well, gentlemen, I say we go for the mountains. If it's hard for us to get around, it'll be even harder for them to get to us.
You know, that makes sense. We could find a cave or something we could hole up in. I can try and get
Okay.
the computer set up and see if I can find any more information.
I guess I'll lead the searching for a cave or something.
It won't take y'all too long. Y'all find like a small valley that has a couple of caves on its north face type thing, to where it may not be where you permanently settle, but it's enough place now where there's plenty of space for you guys, and you can start to set up I mean, obviously it's not going to be an extensive computer setup because it's running off of battery power basically until you can get more permanent energy sources and whatnot in place.
What are we going to do with our starfighters? We're going to have to hide them. I say that.
Perhaps there are mineral deposits here that we could use to mask the mineral signatures of our starfighters, and as long as we keep them powered down, we should be able to hide them.
Could we make like a survival roll to see if we can find a way to camouflage them, or would that be like?
I'm not gonna make you roll for that. Y'all are Jedi Knights, and you're a Pathfinder. I mean, it's one of those things that after some initial scans, you find what will serve as the best scanning deflection type setup. TAC is able to find that, and then you're able to start setting up actual basically camo netting using the brush of the area, and start setting up things that you can put over it. Maybe even making like lean-tos that you can park them under and that sort of thing. So I mean, it's one of those things that it keeps you busy for a couple of days with getting things set up as best as you guys can here. There is enough. I mean, it's not the most abundant food source planet that you've ever been on, but because it's not a factory world or whatever, there's enough wildlife and vegetation and stuff that you guys do not have any real difficulty finding food sources, at least. You guys have been here almost a week. It's been a little over a week since Order 66 at this point, as we pick up again. And TAC has been on and off searching the HoloNet with his communication systems and whatnot, trying to find information, when a lead on possibly where Shaak Ti is right now comes through that he's able to find. It indicates a planet that is in the mid-rim, that she has been spotted, and that now declared Imperial forces are hunting her at the moment. And so you guys have the opportunity to decide if you want to go there or send word or what?
So,
I mean, it could be a trap.
it could be. I could try and hopefully she's also checking the holonet looking for survivors. Maybe I could send an encoded message to her and let her know that you've made it, Seraph, and that maybe not say where we are, but maybe somewhere close.
Actually, I want to change what I said. I mean, that's fine, but I think Seraph would be jumping to get into her starship and trying to get out to go see her. Like, this is her master. This
Okay,
is
so you're being kind of reckless about it.
This is her mother, you know.
Mm.
Like,
All
she
right.
wants to jump out and go. Like, come on, guys, let's, you know, like, this is my master, you know.
We got to think rationally about this.
It's of a trap, you know. He could be alive, and that's enough for me to risk it.
We got to be rational.
Sarah,
Put a message to her faster than we can. It would be too late, or we could end up getting captured ourselves.
I'm all for helping you find your master, Seraph, but Tack has a good point. But at the same time, I don't think putting a message out that we're still out here is a good idea either.
Maybe
We don't have any way of masking where the message is coming from.
Is she sending us coordinates, like a rendezvous point?
No, you guys have found Tack found like newsreel information that indicates she's on this particular planet, or at least has been spotted, and that Imperial clone troopers have been dispatched to hunt her down.
I mean, what if she's in trouble? I mean, they don't know we're alive, so this might not really be a trap. They might just be broadcasting information that they're about to corner Shock T or try to. I mean, my master is, like, really good at staying hidden, and she's scary good with a lightsaber, but it's my master. Former master, whatever.
Alright.
At worst comes to worst, we fight a battle, and then we get the hell out.
There's a possibility that when we leave, they could track our trajectory here. It's a dangerous plan.
So then we don't jump straight there. We jump to another system and then jump to that system. Hell, we could all split up from here and then jump in and rendezvous at that system.
I think splitting up would be a bad idea. Our numbers have already thinned enough.
Let's see here. Who has the highest? Who has like 3+ on cunning? Does anyone?
I've got a 3.
I do. I have a 3.
Okay. I'm going to say that Quinn gets the idea that you could do something different than what both sides are saying, rather than you could actually give a message that has an encoded rendezvous location for Shock T to get to, and it could be something that is significant to Shock T and Seraph, that where a name of a planet could not be given. It could be a certain mission or something that happened in their life or a conversation or something like that that indicates a location.
Well, let's do that.
I mean, that would let y'all try to rescue without putting yourselves at risk of going to a planet that's already crawling with people hunting a Jedi Master.
Well, what would we need to do that?
Just decide that that's what you're going to do. Attack is good enough with computers and whatnot that getting the message out to where Shock T can potentially receive it would not be hard. The main thing would be deciding whether you want a populated world or a space station or a relatively isolated, like what kind of world is. I mean, you're a Jedi Knight, she's a Jedi Master. There are enough different places that you guys have been that you could call memory 2 type thing. It's just a matter of what kind of rendezvous location do you want.
Probably someplace that we'd both be more comfortable in, so something very jungly or foresty, and then that will also give us the ability to cover our starfighters really easily. And
Okay.
it won't be easy for people to follow us if they don't have a scout or a pathfinder with them that can help them navigate through it.
Okay. So you're able to remember a particular incident from when you were a Padawan. There was a world that you and her traveled to where you were pursuing rumors regarding a Dark Force user on this particular world, and you guys landed, and it was a very forested world, and it turned into kind of one of your first major tests as a Padawan. So it's significant and memorable enough for both of you that you can remember where it is, and she should be able to remember where it is, but that you don't even have to give a name for it. It can just be where we hunted the first dark side force user that we encountered together or something like that. So you guys got a location.
More cryptic, like the first
Right.
time we battled the darkness together or something like
that. Okay. You'll set up a communication and that sort of thing. Do you want to indicate how far out or how long it's going to take you to get there and how long you're going to wait for, basically, before giving up on that plan, or are you just going to go and wait a while, or what?
I mean, my character personally, it doesn't matter what they want to do. She's going to stay there as long as she has to.
Okay. All right. So you guys get a rough plan. You know that assuming she gets the message right away, it would probably take her at least 2 days of just hyperspace travel time to get to the location. It's going to take you all 2 or 3 as well. You also would know that with the supplies, like just the fuel and that sort of thing that you have on your starships or starfighters at the moment, that if you go there, you either have to go get fuel after there, or you got to get fuel before there. You won't have enough fuel to go there and then come back here and then leave here again, if that makes sense.
I say we go straight there.
Yeah, I think actually we should try and get rid of the Jedi starfighters as soon as we can.
Okay.
I think it's
basically y'all are going to go there for the rendezvous, and then after there, figure out a way to get rid of these fighters in general and get something else to come back in, basically. Okay.
I think that's.
You want me to do a check for the message, or?
Go ahead and give me a Intel Computers check. We'll call it difficulty 3 because you want it to be findable for her, but you don't want it to be like broadcast everywhere and easy to discern for someone else. Okay.
All right.
Takes you a little bit, but you're fairly confident that you got it out right, and you're happy with it, even though it took you a little longer than you thought it would to get it worded right and bouncing off the right signals and that sort of thing. Alrighty then, we're going to screen wipe then as you guys arrive in that isolated star system. There's not another ship on your scanners as you pop out of hyperspace and head for the planet in question. As you make low orbit, though, you all... actually, each of you roll me your force rating.
What are we rolling?
Force rating? Yours is probably 2, I think. So, we've got 3 of you. I'm not sure who hasn't rolled. Okay, so all of you got at least a light side pip. So you all get a sense as you're making orbit, and Seraph is starting to lead you towards a landing area where it is significant to the particular adventure in mind that will be the rendezvous location, you all get a sense, like a ripple of fear through the Force coming from somewhere on the planet.
So we're sensing fear.
Yeah. Significant enough that you're sensing it from orbit.
From orbit, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's land.
Okay. Do you still want to land where you were initially planning on, or are you going to go closer to where you're feeling this is from, or what?
I say we land where we originally planned.
Someone else suggesting something else there?
You want to land? You felt that too, right?
Yeah, it was.
And you want to go
Strong.
down towards it?
You gotta understand, she's my family.
I understand. I lost my master
If that's
already.
her fear, then we need to get down there and end her fear.
Did it feel like her fear? You would know how she felt. You would know her.
Did it feel like her?
It's one of those, basically, because you as the player jumped to the assumption that it was her, your character made that assumption, and now that you're thinking about it, you're not sure, because the dark side clouds everything.
Okay. Well,
So.
she's pretty brash and impulsive, so yeah, it has to be her. Like, why? I mean, who else is strong enough with the Force that we would feel it from orbit?
Calm yourself, Seraph, and think. Your attachment is unhealthy.
She's done talking, and she.
Okay, so she's going for the landing. Is everyone else going down as well, or do y'all want to do something else?
Tack would hesitate and probably be the last out of the four to come in landing.
Quinn would follow her down. He's not going to let her go alone.
Yeah, Jex has the same idea. I'm not going to let her go alone, but he's not happy about it.
Okay. Alrighty. As you guys go in for a landing in this particular area, it is relatively heavily wooded, not to the point where it's impossible to find a landing spot, but it is not an easy process, and actually you end up having to land about a quarter mile from each other, like 2 pairs of landing spots because of the 4 vehicles you're in. Real quickly, who is landing with Seraph in the same clearing, and which 2 of you are in the other clearing?
I think
I would imagine whoever was the
Jex would
quickest to
land.
follow me.
What'd you say, Lee?
I think that Jex would land with Tack.
With Tack? Okay, so Jex and Tack, and then Quinn and Seraph is landing partners. Alright. When you get out of your various vehicles, the humidity of the place is uncomfortable for everyone except for the Nautilin, who's feeling quite at home with the humidity level. It's like one of those 99% humidity, almost like tropical jungle type vibes, but it's not really a tropical type forest. It's just that humid. And as you are getting out of your vehicles and start towards each other after grabbing whichever supplies you want to get out of your vehicles, you can sense that fear feeling. It just like it's not like a constant sensation, but it's almost like it's a humming sensation from a particular direction to the north of you guys.
Wraith and I dismount, and we begin patrolling, at least around the area where all the ships have landed, to make sure we're secure.
Okay.
Quinn would be doing the same thing. We're making his way toward the other 2 ships.
Okay. All right. So you guys are making your ways towards each other to rendezvous, and you're working on it for a little bit, and it doesn't take y'all but 10 minutes or so between gathering your gear from when you've landed and powered down your ships to rendezvousing about halfway between your various landing spots. In that time, Wraith has been on edge, Seraph. I mean, it's a canine, and there are lots of unfamiliar smells. Lots of them. So she is definitely on edge, but not to the point where she's like spazzing, but she's just anxious.
I'm actually going to dedicate one of my force ratings to being empathically bound with him.
Okay.
So I can see and hear what he can see and hear and all that types of awesome stuff. Mentally communicate.
Okay. Sounds good. If you guys would give me a perception check, difficulty 2 with 1 setback.
Is that just Wraith and Seraph, or is that everyone? Is that
Everyone.
just Wraith?
This is as you guys meet up. Man, a blank and a fail.
One second, I messed up. Okay, here comes Seraph's roll.
Okay.
Because of one of my abilities, she can get rid of a setback die, so there will be no setback die.
Okay. Alright, so we got Wraith and Seraph picking up on stuff.
And the second one was Wraith.
Okay. And then Quinn, Jex, and Tack did not notice. Okay. Go figure, the Pathfinder is the one that, and the animal are the ones that notice something odd going on in the forest.
I mean, we should be.
Yeah. Anyone's going to notice it, you'd hope it'd be them. Okay, you guys, the two of you realize as you guys rendezvous and are kind of starting to discuss what you're going to do next, you realize that you are in what appears to be a game trail in this particular part of the forest, and so you're thinking you're in a bad spot.
I let my companions, for the time being, know what's going on and that we need to start moving.
Okay.
By all means, Seraph, lead the way.
So are we heading towards the fear? Is that what we decided?
Y'all have
That is what you decided.
Okay.
We're just here making sure you don't get yourself killed.
I was just making sure because I'm going to do it regardless. I just wanted to know if you guys were following.
Okay.
I say we try to move as stealthily as possible. Is that okay? I mean, again, I don't really care. I'm going to move stealthily. Both me and Ray.
Some of you are going to be having an easier time at moving stealthily through the jungle than others, but that's beside the point. You guys make your way. You make it about 10 minutes or so. You guys landed in such a way that you're now heading off in a third direction from where your vehicles are parked, following this sensation. You've made it off of the game trail itself, although it looks like it runs in a roughly parallel path to where you're headed. And about 10 minutes in, you realize that something is coming. All of you realize this. Something is making its way towards you.
Okay.
Jack's hand goes down to his lightsaber.
Okay.
I say we set up kind of an ambush.
All right. So y'all are moving into position to try to deal with whatever it is when.
It's always bad when he goes win, and then it trails off, and he starts messing around on his computer.
Now, I'll be the bait. You guys take up some hiding places off to the sides. Quinn would pull his sidearm blaster pistol, the dueling pistol that he's got.
Okay. When this arrives, comes rushing into the clearing, and it is headed for Wraith.
Shit, no stealth. Okay. I immediately jumped into the fray.
So it is initiative checks. Since y'all knew something was coming, it's vigilance to see how quickly you're able to react.
So since I'm new, that's just a straight vigilance check. There's no difficulty dice at all?
Right. No difficulty. It's just initiative.
No setback.
No. You may have talent to
Vigilance
give you
was
boost.
when you were surprised.
I'm pretty sure. No, vigilance is when you're not surprised. Cool is when you're startled, how cool you are under pressure. Vigilance is when you realize something's about to go down.
Okay.
Sure. That's my understanding of it. Anyway. Well,
Either way, it's your
I
game. We'll
keep
do it
meaning,
that way.
I keep meaning to reread those sections, and because I know you and I interpret it different ways, and it's one of those on my list of things to reread. Because I'm sure one of us is right. I just don't know which one, really.
I think you have it right, Josh.
All right, so I got 3 successes. So the Rancor is first, and then it's all of you guys. And because of the number, it'll go first and last, basically, in each round. So it's going after Wraith first. Let's see here. And it's melee. Does Wraith have, he has melee defense, doesn't he? Of 1, I believe.
He has melee defense 1 and soak 4. I don't know if that matters.
And what? Melee defense 1 and what?
Soak. Well, do you need to know his soak?
Oh, soak 4? Okay. Alright, well the 4 takes off the, that, so the claws of this thing, do 11 points of damage after his soak. As it
Is that
tears
wound?
wounds. Yeah.
Jesus.
And then it is whichever of you is going to go first. Wraith is not feeling good.
No, he's not doing well. I'm going. Seraph is gonna tear off lightsabers ablaze,
Okay.
and she's gonna attack the Rancor.
All right. You're now you're dual wielding, right? Okay, so that means it's difficulty 3 by default if you're going to try to hit with both weapons. So it'd be 3 purple. This thing has adversary 2, so that becomes 1 purple and 2 red. It does not have melee defense, so that does not give you any setbacks.
Okay.
So you hit, but only got 1 advantage, so you don't have enough to trigger unless you got paired weapons.
They're paired.
Okay, so you can hit, you got the paired weapon attachment, not the linked quality, right?
Yeah, it's not linked because they're 2 separate blades.
Okay. All right, cool. So you get to hit twice. The first one is one higher than your base damage, and the second one is your base damage. You've got the Ilum crystals. I don't know how far you advanced them up and what the damage is on them.
It's going to be 11 and 10.
Okay, 11 and 10 with breach 1. Okay. Seraph jumps up as Wraith is clawed at by this thing, and one blade like slashes into the bicep of the creature's extended arm, and the other one slices underneath the arm as he jumps back down and hits him across the rib cages. The creature cries out in pain as even the lightsabers have some difficulty piercing through the tough hide.
I have a question. My saber swarm, how does that work? If I want to use it.
It's a talent. I don't have my book open to that at the moment. You'd have to look in the talent. I think it's you spend 2 advantages to get a linked quality equal to your force rating or something like that for the attack.
It's 1 strain.
Oh.
Can I suffer a 1 strain and that?
It depends. I have to look at the talent, man. Because I don't know if it's one that you have to decide before or what. Saber Swarm, right?
Correct.
Okay, so with that you suffer you take the Saber Swarm maneuver, so that uses your maneuver to do it, and you suffer a strain. Your next lightsaber agility combat check gains linked equal to your force rating, which in this case, 1, you didn't declare the maneuver, but 2, you didn't roll enough advantages even if you had to trigger it more than the once anyway. So.
Okay, so for next time. Now, yeah. At least I know how it works now.
Yep. Next up. Or actually, you went, so do Wraith's move as well. Keep the 2 of you together on that.
Okay, he's gonna back off for a moment. Is there any way for? Well, he can't recover strain or wounds. He's gonna need a stem pack. Yeah, he's gonna back off and like take a second to reassess the situation.
Okay.
And if Seraph gets hurt,
so the guarded stance, basically, in case he gets attacked again. And we've lost. Mikey dropped out. All right. So next up, one of you guys.
Yeah, since I was setting out to be the bait.
Sorry about that.
Already had blaster drawn.
Okay.
I'd use my maneuver to draw my lightsaber.
Okay.
And fire with my blaster as long as I'm within short range.
Okay. Yeah, you can be in short range. I figure y'all aren't spread out too greatly from each other, so if it's engaged with one of you, it's going to be at least short to the rest, or even engaged. So short range to it, that would be 1 purple normally, but because of its adversary 2, becomes 1 red and 1 purple.
Alright. And... Alright, 2 success, 2 threat.
Alright, with the threat, you suffer 2 strain.
Okay. And that's 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, so that...
Okay, I don't have pierce or anything on it.
Okay. So 10 damage, it hits the fleshy hide of this big old Rancor creature, and it does not seem to have noticed much, if at all. They have high soak. Next up would be whoever's going to go next. Jex or Tack.
Yeah, I'm just working on my character sheet. I forgot to have one of my things, so I'll let Tack.
Okay.
I would have had my blaster drawn while we were prepping the ambush, so I'm going to take cover.
Okay.
And then fire a shot off my heavy blaster.
Okay.
So, let's see, range light. Sorry.
It'd be the same, 1 purple, 1 red,
Purple
assuming
red.
you want to be at short range.
Yeah, that's where we're at, correct?
Yeah.
How's my brain? There's 2. 1 purple, 1 red. So, and then I also have an advantage because I have the what's the mod?
Okay, so that offsets the threat. So
Yeah,
you hit with nothing extra. What's the base damage?
7.
7. That one hits it square in the stomach, and it doesn't even seem to have noticed. At least Quinn's shot, I mean, it flinched. Yours, it doesn't even seem to have noticed the shot.
Okay.
So, Jex, you're up.
Yeah. So Jax ignites his lightsaber, and he takes the force protection maneuver.
Okay.
And commits 2 forces to increase his soak by 2.
Okay.
And then attacks the creature, which is, and then it has it's adversary 2, right?
Yep.
So it's just
So basically, it's 2 red because it starts off as 2. Hit. And what's your base damage?
I believe my base damage is. I have a fully. Yeah, my base damage is 8.
For the.
I have fully upgraded Luridian Crystal.
Oh, Luridian, okay. Alright. So that's 8. Alright. It bites into its calf a bit, and you're feeling the resistance as it, like, you're cutting it, but I mean, it's not like cutting like a hot knife through butter. It's actually soaking some of the damage. So, then it is the end of the round. It's its turn. I think Seraph there did the most damage to it, so it's gonna turn on you. What's your defense rating, Seraph? Or do you have a defense rating?
I have defense 1.
Defense 1? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, it's something. Alright, so. And what is your soak?
My soak is 4.
4? Okay,
Yeah.
so. You end up taking 9 wounds.
Can I parry?
Yeah, you can use your parry talent. It suffers 3 strain, and then you convert the appropriate amount of wounds, or you block a certain amount of wounds. If you just have 1 level, it's 3 strain for 3 wounds. If you've got 2 levels of it, it becomes 3 for 4. So,
I have 2 levels of it, so it's 3 for 4.
So basically, you'll take 5 wounds and 3 strain as you parry big old clawed, meaty fist coming your way. But its 3 advantages are going to trigger a crit.
It's trying to kill me today, huh?
Well, I mean, you're lucky that for some reason the Rancor does not have vicious for its claws. I don't understand that, but it's just the base die 100 roll. Which means 47 head ringer. The target increases the difficulty of all intellect and cunning checks by 1 until the end of the counter. You get off pretty easy there.
Awesome.
I mean, it still might matter, but not the most important stats for this particular kind of encounter.
She's not really using cutting or intelligence right now.
Yeah. But you do have a crit on you, so you need to notate that, because if you get hit with another crit, then it becomes more and more deadly. So then it's the top of the round. Its turn. It will aim its other attack at Jex, since you're the other one in melee. And Jex, what's your defense?
2 defense.
2 defense? Okay. So it's... And your soak is what now?
My soak is currently, I believe, 8. I'll double check. Yes, my current soak is 8.
Okay, so that's 5 wounds coming your way.
Can I ask a question real quick?
What's that?
The defensive quality on a lightsaber, what does that do?
It adds... It's basically melee defense, rating of 1. It gives it a setback dice,
Okay.
just like your defense on your armor would be.
So when he attacks, he'll have setback dice, or
Yeah.
how's that work?
Equal to your defense rating, and that's one of the things that adds to defense rating.
Okay.
Alright, so he's got enough advantages, he's going to crit you as well. 33... Stunned. You're staggered until the end of your next turn. And I'm trying to remember, staggered is the one that... I think it means you lose your action, not your maneuver, if I remember right.
I believe so.
Yeah. Staggered is you lose your action, not your maneuvers, so... and it's just for this turn, so... Alright, so it's your guys' go now.
Do you guys mind if I do my actions?
I don't mind, it's up to you guys. Y'all get to pick.
That's what I'm asking.
Alright.
I guess
Go for it.
Wraith is going to go first, because Seraph just got knocked around pretty good.
Okay.
He is going to attack with his Brawl, I believe. Yep, correct. Brawl. So that's going to be... And what's the...
Brawn.
No, what's the...
Brawl is pretty much always going to be difficulty 2, which becomes 2 red in this case because of atmosphere 2.
Okay. So on the sheet he has 1 second. Like it just has the green dice, but he has 3 brawn and 3 green dice in Brawl. Does that mean?
No. If it's on the sheet, then that means that he does not have the Brawl skill.
But
So his dice pool is the 3 green, if that's what it's showing.
Well, on the thing he has Brawl 3. Is that what that means?
If he has Brawl 3 and he has Brawn 3, then he's rolling 3 yellow dice.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Roll.
Oh snap!
2 hits and a triumph, or success and a triumph.
Alright, so he'll take Wraith will take a strain from that threat.
Okay.
What's his damage?
His damage is 3 piercing 2.
Okay, so he bites into the thing, but I mean he doesn't. I mean, like he just lashes on and it's like doing the whole dog thing, and it's not seeming to care.
Can I use my triumph?
You can crit with the triumph if you want, because you did hit.
That's what I'm gonna do, because he has
Okay.
lethal.
Roll.
So what do I roll? The 100.
The D100, yeah.
And what does lethal 2 do for him?
You get plus 20 to the roll. So whatever you roll, it's 20 higher on the chart.
Oh shit!
Wow. There's
You rolled a
100.
120.
So. Okay, so that one is blinded. So Wraith basically jumped into the air, like bit the thing's arm, and the thing like did the whole like toss him up in the air thing, and ignores him, and Wraith like lands and just like fangs first into an eye socket basically, and just does the whole like dog gnar thing on the eye socket. So this thing is blinded now. It can no longer see. Upgrade the difficulties of all checks twice. Wow, that is brutal. All right, next up.
Seraph is going to use her Saber Swarm and suffer 1 strain.
Okay.
So.
Are you going for your paired attack as well as doing that, or are you just going on that?
How would that affect my dice roll? Just wondering.
Okay, so if you just attack normally, it's going to be 2 red. If you do paired attack, it's going to be 2 red and a purple. But because you have paired weapons, you can spend 1 advantage to hit with your offhand, and then your Saber Swarm allows you to spend 2 advantages each to hit an additional time up to your force rating. So basically, if you do the difficulty 3, then 5 advantages would let you hit a total of 4 times.
Okay, so my lightsabers give me an automatic advantage each for fighting against a single opponent.
Right. Well, no, it's... Oh, they're the curve tilts?
Yeah, they're both curve tilts.
Nice. So go ahead and put the 2 advantages in there.
Okay. Alright, I'm rolling.
Alright, so...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put that D100 in there. Do you want me to reroll?
No, you missed.
Okay.
You missed, but you got advantages, so they're not going to be able to trigger multiple hits because you missed. But you can do other stuff with them, like give boost dice to your allies or something along those lines.
I will pass those. Is there any way I can make it to where it's more defensive, or can I give him setback dice?
Yeah, you can give your opponent with 4 advantages. You can give them 2 setback dice, and then with that triumph. What can you do when you don't hit? Because normally, like, the go-to is a crit or whatever, but...
Could I hit anyways with the triumph?
No.
You could cause him to be knocked down.
Yeah, you can knock him prone.
Sure.
Yeah, you can do that. So you're giving him 2 setback dice and knocking him prone, even though you don't actually wound him. Apparently he's so stunned from Wraith's attack that he's, like, scrambling and just falls backwards out of your way.
He's trying to dodge my onslaught of sabers.
Yeah. Trips over a tree trunk. Next up, whoever's going.
Alright, I want to take that tree trunk he just tripped over, and if you'll allow me, I want to use my move power to pull the tree down on him.
Okay. What is your strength rating with move?
I think it's a 2.
Okay.
Yep.
So you could potentially get
Silhouette.
Silhouette 2, which would be a tree of almost his size, slamming into him.
Yep.
So go ahead and roll your force rating to see how much debris you're able to grab. Okay, that's just enough to grab a little bit of debris. I think that's only going to be 5 damage worth of debris, if I remember right, with the power. It helps if you're trying to look up move if you're looking in the Force and Destiny book and not the Edge of the Empire book.
Yep. Let's see, I've also got hurl.
What does hurl do?
10 times silhouette damage.
Right, but you just got the
roll high
ones.
enough on the force die.
Right. A Silhouette 0 does 5 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's actually a ranged combat check. So you do a ranged light check as part of that roll. So it's 5 damage. Basically, right now it's a ranged light weapon with 5 damage base that you rolled.
I'll roll my ranged light real quick to add to that.
1 purple, 1 red because it's short range.
Oh. Which is all advantages.
Alright, so you don't really hit him and do damage, but you can use those advantages to give more setback dice or give boost dice to allies.
He's blind.
I'm
got 2 setback.
I'm gonna throw all 4 of those to as boost dice to the next player.
Alright, so Jex or Tack, who's up? Hello?
Jex, Tack.
Jex, you're muted, I think.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to attack. Like, isn't attacking an action and I'm staggered right now?
Oh, that's true. So
it's all...
basically Tack unless Tack wants to. Because it's the next ally who takes an action gets those 4 boost dice. So if Tack doesn't want to use them, he can do just maneuvers this round if he wanted to. And then would just pass into the next round to someone.
No, I think I'm going to actually use them.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to use my move as well and try to throw something, hopefully Silhouette 1. hurl it at him for 10 times damage.
All right.
My blaster didn't phase him.
So ranged light with your force rating in dice as well against a purple and a red.
Purple and a red.
Yep.
Damn.
Wow. Okay, so the first thing is because you rolled all dark, even to pick something up, you'd have to spend 2 strain and flip a destiny point. And since you're gonna miss, you probably don't even want to do that.
Just push the successes on.
You reach out. Oh man, let's see. What do you want to do with those advantages?
Oh, shit. 2, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Let's give a 3 boost. Can I do 3? What's it? No, what is it?
It's 1 for 1 to give to the next ally, or 2 for 1 to give to specific allies.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just do next, and hopefully, Sarah or Wraith, one of the two. I mean, they both seem to be doing the most. So either one of them.
In our defense, we're really bad at force.
Apparently. Well, and then as far as force, I mean, you got all those dice, and it's like, okay, 3 failures, 3 black pips, and 5 advantages.
Oh no,
What's that roll mean?
As far as narrating, though, so Tax sees Quinn kind of rustle some leaves and blow him towards the Rancor, and he's like, that's all he's got. So he tries to take like a giant log, and that's why he fails. He's sitting there trying to throw like a redwood tree at this thing.
Let's see here. So the way I'm going to describe that then is like
a hernia.
Quinn had thrown like debris from a tree at it, whatnot, and you reach out trying to actually not just throw a tree at it, but like break a tree off at and pull it down on it. And when you reach out to do so, you like feel like you reach out to grab it, and you feel the fear rush in from that sensation you guys have been feeling, and you feel as though if you were to do this, it would actually be, you would be letting the dark side in, and you break off the choice. And the moment is so clear cut to your allies that the stoicism of the light side at that moment will bolster their next action with those boost dice against the creature. I think that's how we're going to describe that one, because otherwise I don't know how you describe a miss and a force power that doesn't go off giving boost dice. So then it's the creature's turn. It's going to spend its maneuver getting up, and it's going to take... oh yeah, that's right. That's right. You got the 2 maneuvers.
Yeah. So I will spend maneuvers increasing my defense however I can.
Okay, that's defensive stance. I think it gives it setback dice if it chooses to attack you. It's going to use its maneuver to get up, and then it's going to swing wildly in Seraph's general direction. Actually, yeah, Seraph's general direction. So it's got the 2 setback dice normally. Seraph, you have defensive 1 or 2? 1. Okay.
Well, I have 2 lightsabers with defensive 1, but on the character sheet it doesn't only have 1.
Yeah, defensive does not stack, so whatever source gives it to you, and then you've got it. So then it would be normally difficulty 2 with 3 setback, but because it's now upgrading twice, it becomes 2 red. Alright, and it's taking a wild swing in your direction. Boom!
I'm still terrified. Oh shit.
I'm
gonna parry again, I guess.
So let's see here. That's the same amount of damage coming your way. 9 wounds coming your way. So you spend 3 strain to turn it into 5 wounds and 3 strain.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Top of the round, it's going to reach up and try to grab Wraith off of its face and chunk Wraith into the trees. hits.
He's not getting any minuses for being blind.
He's getting his attack rolls upgraded twice. Rather than 2 purple, he's having to roll 2 red.
And then he also had 2 setback dice on the last roll.
That was on your last. That only gives it to its next roll, just like boost dice for your guys' next roll.
He rolled the 2 setback on me. Okay.
Yeah, they're all 3. The 2 came up blanks, and so it didn't help any. But it could have canceled out quite a bit. So it's got an advantage, which is not enough to trigger knockdown. So it basically just claws at Wraith and knocks it off its face. Not enough to really worry about too much. What's Wraith's soak again, though?
His soak is 4 and his defense is 1. They have the same.
7 damage coming at Wraith. 7 wounds after soak.
Wraith might be dead.
Or, well, y'all are the heroes. It's death's door. He's down.
Wraith is down.
Okay, then it's an ally's turn. One of you guys.
No, it's mine.
Well, it could be someone else. It doesn't have to be you. They've got 5 boost dice coming to whoever's going here.
Do you guys mind?
Change up your turn every time. If you want.
Do you guys mind if I go one more time first?
Oh yeah, after seeing Ray get thrown like that, it makes sense.
Hugely emotional for her. She just watched her.
So it's 2 red and a purple. If you're going for the full flurry, you suffer a strain. If you've got the strain still to use to do your twin thing, and then.
And I have 3 boost dice, right?
5 boost dice. And he passed 5 along.
And I'll suffer another.
Okay. Holy cow.
Seraph goes fucking nuts.
So.
And can I make 2 of those crits?
5, 6. So the first one. What's your base damage again? 9?
10.
10. So the first attack does 15 wounds, and then you've got your flurry of blows. So you, with 1 advantage, you hit another time for 10, and then with 2 advantages, you hit a 3rd time for 10. With 2 advantages, you hit a 4th time, or 1, 2, 3, 4th time for 10. So 15, 10, 10, 10. And then a despair. So.
My lightsaber.
No, this is gonna be mean. You're gonna hate this, but hey, it's fitting with what just happened. In that moment, as you see Wraith go flying across the battlefield and not get up, you lash out in your anger and you slice an arm off and then cut it off at the knee as you on your way down, jumping up again. You slice up through its abdomen, and the Rancor falls in multiple pieces, and the head, with its big old toothy tusked face, lands on top of Wraith.
No! If combat's over, I'm immediately running over to Wraith.
Well, I mean, combat seems to be over. The Rancor's in about 4 or 5 pieces at the moment from the various slashes, or at least chunks of pieces.
He's my bestie.
And it's like one of those things, like the big roaring mouth of the Rancor falls, and you're not sure how much actually hit Wraith. It's like completely encompassed by the skull right now. So.
Can I see Wraith at all, or is he like?
He's completely encompassed. You'll have to cut your way through, or lift the Rancor head up off this thing, or something to get to Wraith.
She drops her lightsabers, turning them off,
okay.
And she's going to try to physically lift it up over the
What's your brawn?
Her what?
Brawn.
It is 3.
3. Okay, you're straining trying to get this thing to roll up off of Wraith, and you're not having much luck with it. It's pretty hefty.
Jax will come over with his brawn of 4, and he'll make, I guess, an athletics check. to see if he can lift it?
With the two of you working on it, I'm not going to make it that hard for you.
I was about to say, if we can use athletics, I can make it.
Yeah. So the two of you lift, and you manage to roll. I mean, like, you're not lifting it. It's more like you're rolling the car over, basically, on its side, and it goes rolling off. And there's Wraith, like, multiple claw slashes across the wolf's body, puncture wound where a tooth went through, like at the just below the shoulder on that leg. Wraith does not look like they're doing well.
Can I split 2 stim packs into him?
Okay. All right. You do that, and Wraith stirs a little bit at least.
Does anybody have medicine? Is anybody trained? I'm like barely trained. Could somebody help him? She's like crying, like begging somebody to help. Somebody help me.
I've never been formally trained, but I've seen enough at the temple I could try to stabilize his body.
I mean, he's
You've already done all I can do.
Stirring, at least, as far as things go. Hey.
Quinn would hand Seraph another stim pack and say, "That's the best I can do for you."
I slam another stim pack into him. Stim packs are 5 wounds apiece, right?
For the first one. And then the second one will be 4, third, 3. So they go down by 1 each time. You can do a total of 5 in a day.
Yeah, so you've hit him with 2, so that's healed 9 wounds.
He's at 12. He just gave me another one, and I hit him with that one.
So healed 12. And what's Wraith's normal wound threshold?
15.
Okay. So Wraith is up, not feeling good. Well, actually feeling fine now with the number of painkillers that are flowing through that system. Not looking good, but at least feeling okay. But yeah, Wraith will need some medical attention before too much longer.
We need
Not
to
that
find.
you're doing a whole lot better yourself. I mean,
it's more important that Wraith is okay.
I wish I could help the two of you out more, but I was trained with fighting, not healing.
Yeah, I have like very basic. I have like my human skill is in medicine, and I have a 2 intelligence, so I have a yellow and a green. I don't know if that'll do anything for me.
Treating yourself is always more difficult, for one. As you guys are starting to recover, anyone that's down strain can make their discipline or cool check. No challenge rating, just to see if you recover any strain at the end of the encounter. Only successes matter, not advantages on this roll.
Oops, wrong roller. Three successes.
All right.
So I am back at 3 strain. 10 wound.
And I have no strain anymore.
Okay.
Only my 5 wound.
About this time, you guys hear a low rumble. At first, it sounds kind of like thunder, but you quickly realize it's not thunder. There is a starfighter that is making its way in. You can see, like, you see it up in the atmosphere, making its way down slowly. And where did that? It's an ARC 170, if you're familiar with those.
But I'm vaguely familiar.
Let's see here. I've got a picture of one. The ARC 170. It's the fighters that normally were escorting the Jedi, typically flown by clones. Yeah. One of those is making its way into the rough direction of your planned rendezvous location.
Aren't those fighter transports?
They have a small like troop transport, like 4 people can sit in them. I think in the box.
There's different variations of them. The bomber module style can hold 3 clone troopers. So there's one for the pilot, one for the gunner, and one for the bomber. And sometimes there's scout versions that don't have bombs but have a better sensor package or better engines and that kind of thing. It kind of is the prelude to the Y-wing in a lot of ways, in that there's a lot of different variations that can be set up because it's got enough storage space and extra passenger at different ways and whatnot.
Right, well, that was more in character than out of character.
Well, I mean, your character would be at least somewhat familiar with some of the roles of it. But you see one of them start into the atmosphere, and it's heading in that direction. And then as it's moving, it's coming in for a landing about 3 miles south of you guys. So back past where your vehicles are landed, if you wanted to go back that way.
Yeah, let's go back that way. Oh, by the way, is that fear gone?
No. If anything, it feels stronger now.
What do you guys think? I mean, maybe this fear that we're sensing is not Shaak Ti. Maybe that could be her. She could have stole one of the clone fighters. Make more sense than traveling in one of the Jedi fighters like we are.
I feel that this fear is too strong for a Jedi Master. They have more control than this.
All right, well let's go check out the landing craft, and maybe they'll have supplies on it, so I can heal up.
Okay, so y'all are doubling back to head that way. All right. You're making your way in that direction. You make it about 10 minutes or so to where you're back roughly where you guys started when y'all first rendezvoused on the planet. When you hear another rumble of thunder, and this time 4 more ARC 170s are entering the atmosphere heading in y'all's general direction.
I say we pick up the pace and haul ass towards where that first one's landing.
I don't think those are going to be Master Shaak Ti. If that was her in that first one, we need to get there quick. Because
that's what I'm saying. Her. I mean, worst comes to worst, we can check it out, and if it is her, it's her. If it's not, we deal with the clone trooper inside, and we can raid it for supplies.
All right. You guys are you start double timing it basically. You still figure with the amount of distance based on where the first ARC 170 landed that you're probably about 15 minutes of hustle from that. The 4 will definitely be able to get there beforehand, depending on how much of a reading they got on where it landed. As you are hustling along, though, you sense a disturbance in the force nearby. You can give a vigilance test. Difficulty 1 red, 1 purple, with 2 setback dice due to the distraction of trying to hustle along.
Oh dear, I did not do well.
Alright, so we got despair for Jex, failure for Tack, failure for Quinn, and then Wraith and Sarah
I
got
gotta
success.
re-roll it.
What?
I said I gotta re-roll it. I forgot the setback dice.
And the difficulty dice.
What? Oh, the difficulty dice too. Dang.
Come on, man. You're just trying to stack your deck here. Get it right.
It's not rolling. 1 second. 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, this is Wraith.
So Wraith doesn't notice it. And then you?
So I have a one of my abilities allows me to drop a
Setback.
setback dice. Can I still drop one?
Yep. Just means you're normally more observant because of your training than most, even when distracted.
That was Seraph, but
Okay.
she didn't see anything. She's
So
too
no one got successes, and Jex got a despair. Awesome.
We rule, guys. We're the best.
This is the best rescue mission ever. Alright, so Jex. Give me a coordination roll. It'll be difficulty 3, with one of those being red, and because you didn't see this coming at all, 2 setback dice. So 2 black, 1 red, 2 purple. Alright, 2 failures and 2 threats. So y'all are jogging along, and all of a sudden Jex makes a misstep and finds his way into a spike pit trap. As he falls down and like a spike tries to skewer him. What's your soak, Jex? Like 6 normally?
6, yeah.
Alright, you'll take 2 wounds and 2 strain from the fall. It's only like one of those 8 foot deep pits. It's not like super deep, but there's spikes at the bottom of it. Clearly some sort of trapper's tool, basically. So you'll take 2 wounds and 2 strain from the fall and landing. And at that moment, the rest of you can make a cool check as an ambush goes off.
Do crits carry over from combat to combat?
Yes. It actually, without severe medical equipment, it'll take a week to heal one. So...
Wraith got nothing. Seraph got 1 success and 2 advantages.
That is rough. Okay, so...
But we did get a total of 5 advantages.
And I have an advantage on mine as well. I forgot to edit. I have
Somebody didn't roll yet.
sensor in my armor.
Okay, so Wraith got 0, 0, 0. Seraph, you got 1 success and 2 advantage. Quinn got 1 success and 2 advantage. Jex...
Hasn't rolled yet.
Okay, he hasn't rolled yet. It's Tack that got the 3 successes.
Jax, you gotta roll your cool.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I was in the hole there, so it's just rolling cool? Okay.
You got a lot of advantages, at least. Not that that helps.
No.
Well, it does, because it's tiebreakers.
Oh.
Like, whenever you roll initiative, you look at triumphs first, so everyone that got triumphs goes first, and then if there's multiple people that roll triumphs, then you look at how many successes they got, and then you break it down by the successes next, and then advantages last. So, like, 1 success and 3 advantages goes before 1 success and 1 advantage on this. So
one of us is gonna have to go last at the end of the turn, right?
Let's see here. So we've got. So the order this time is NPC, PC, 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 NPC, NPC, PC, NPC. So it's bad guy, 3 good guys, 2 bad guys, a good guy, then a bad guy. So, first up is one of the bad guys who is going to jump and attack Quinn. And are you all familiar with the Rataki race?
Yep.
Is that the general series?
No. Let's see here. It's Assange Adventures for this race. The grayish skin with tattoos and that kind of thing. Basically, 3 of them that look different variations of tattoos and whatnot, but basically like 3 males that look like this picture, which I wish it was bigger, but it's not. If you can see that, they're kind of in the dark robes. It's kind of a wooded leather type look about them. And then there is a female.
We killed a Rancor, Bubba.
The 3 males jump out, and one of them is attacking Tak, one of them is attacking Seraph, and one of them is attacking Quinn this first round. Like, they jumped the 3 of you that didn't fall in the pit. And then there is a female that looks like this, that is standing back, and she's wearing much less than the others, decently covered, but not like the woodsman covering type level that they are. And they are attacking you guys. The one attacking Quinn will act first, though.
Okay, I got 1 defense for melee and ranged.
Okay. He is running up and trying to punch you in the face. So, or the gut, or whatever else he can get to, basically. As he lashes out to punch you, you see that he's got like a glove that has like spikes from, basically it's kind of like the Tiger Claws weapon from various games, something roughly equivalent to that he's trying to slash you with. Boom. So he hits, which will do
Soak 6.
4. You have a soak of 6, so he slashes you, and it just like scratches across your armor, basically. No real damage. With the 2 advantages, he will give you a setback dice on your attack against him, though, as it like claws into like one of your arm plates or whatever and snags your arm for your attack. So, next up is a PC. Actually, it's 3 PCs now. So.
All right. Well, I was attacked first, so you guys mind if I go first?
Please do.
All right. Well, I'd like to think that he was running still with his weapons in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he would activate his lightsaber and swing that, as well as aiming his pistol for a shot with it. And they are paired.
Okay.
Let's see.
So he has adversary 1. So basically, it'd be 1 red, 1 purple, and he does not have melee defense. So.
Okay, 1 red, 1 purple, and 1 setback. My lightsaber skill, and alright, so
damage of yours.
The lightsaber bites in, doing 11 damage as he doesn't do anything real artful or graceful. He just activates it in sort of a side swipe across the guy, and the arm that he grabbed a hold of was the arm that was holding his pistol, so when he pulls the trigger, it's kind of off wide and shoots into the ground.
Okay. All right. Next up.
I'll go next. If that's all right.
Okay.
I'm going to. So as he's running up, they're running into engage, correct?
Right. They're moving to attack each of you that didn't fall in the pit.
All right. So as they're coming up, I'm gonna pull my saber and ignite it. And then I also have the quick strike on my armor.
Okay. That will help you out a little bit here, hopefully.
Nope. So a purple and a red, right?
Yeah, purple and red.
But you get a boost dice as long as you attack somebody who hasn't been attacked yet.
Right. So hopefully that
Hopefully it
will help my one
Doesn't
green.
always.
Oh, it did.
Wow. That boost dice was epic.
Yes, I needed that.
So you hit. What's the damage on yours?
10.
Alright.
Breach, Sunder, Vicious, 2.
Anything? Do you want to do anything with your maneuver?
No, maneuver was drawing the saber.
Oh, okay, that's right. Alright, so next up would be a third one of you guys.
I'll go. If that's okay.
Alright, go for it.
So Jex is going to, I guess, he would get up, and then he would try to get up out of the pit.
Okay.
So will that be an athletics check then?
You can do it a couple of different ways. If you want to suffer the 2 strain to get a second maneuver and use both maneuvers to get up and get out, basically, I'll let you do that. It would just take you the 2 strain, and you'll end up, if you then take an attack, you'll end up with 2 setback to your attack roll for the round. Or you can actually use your action to get out, and in which case you'll just get out and you just won't have an action to attack with, but you get out and you won't have to suffer the 2 strain and you won't have the setback. So.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the action.
Okay. All right. So you're out of the pit, safe, and not suffer an extra strain or damage or anything like that. So now it is 2 NPCs' turn. We'll go with the one attacking Seraph and then the one attacking Tak. Or Tak. Seraph, you have 1 defense, right?
Yes.
Alright, so here we go. Hits, and what's your soak?
4.
Alright, so they have an ability where I will spend a dark side point, and they have what's called soft spot, and basically it raises their damage by 3 for the single hit, so you take 3 wounds.
1 second.
After soak.
Seraph is going to spend a strain to deflect those 3
3
wounds.
strain. Okay. So you take 3 strain instead of 3 wounds, basically.
Yeah.
Alright. Then the attack on Tak. Do you have 1 or 2 defense, or any defense, Tak? 1? Okay. So same dice pool. Oh, snap. So what's your soak, Tak?
3.
3. So that means there's 3 damage after soak, and then I'll use the triumph for a crit, just so that no one feels left out with how the dice roller's going tonight. 26.
At least it's a low roll.
Yeah, I mean it's real. At least I didn't drop the 100 on you.
Yeah.
Like y'all did to that Rancor.
It's 120. It wasn't just 100. It was 100.
Yeah. Not only did you drop the 100, but you dropped it on the guy that has one of the lethal blows type talents. So
I don't know if we would have survived if that wouldn't have happened.
Discouraging wound. Flip 1 light side point, 2 dark side. Alright, so I get that destiny point back. Ooh. But you got 1 crit on you now. As it, I mean, because it's the claw things, it's like it grabs into, so you're a Keldor, so it like grabs into the spot where, right above where your horn meets your head up there, and just grabs a hold and tears some flesh off, and some blood's pouring into your visor and that kind of thing.
Almost unseats your mask.
Nah, not quite that mean. Next up would be a PC. So it's Seraph's turn since everyone else is gone this round.
I'm actually gonna have Wraith jump in front of Seraph and attack the guy.
Okay.
That just attacked her. Because
Okay.
Seraph is by far the most tired out of everybody, so she's gonna go last. I just feel like that's good role play.
So
what's the difficulty? 2 and
it'd be difficulty. It'd be 1 purple, 1 red.
1 purple, 1 red.
No setback.
Is there any setback?
Nope.
2 hits.
And Wraith's damage is 4 base, right?
3 piercing 2.
3 piercing 2, so... so 3 becomes 4 damage with piercing 2, so effectively 6, so okay. Alright, and then I'm looking up the question to your, or the answer to your question about imbue item, because that's not a talent that I've actually ever had a character have, so...
Yeah.
Well, isn't the Artificer kind of new or something like that?
No, the Artisan's in the core book. So you suffer strain, or you take a maneuver to use it, suffer 1 strain and commit a force die. You either increase its damage by 1, increase the advantage cost to critically hit, or for any other single effect of the item by 1 to a minimum of 1. Increase a piece of armor's ranged or melee defense by 1, or decrease encumbrance by 2. And it costs you 1 strain per round to have whatever bonus it is you're wanting. So.
Okay. Yeah, just it didn't go into the detail on what it gave you.
Yeah, I think it's chapter 4 is all about the talents, and it gives the full description of each individual talent. So. All right. So next up is the lady. She is the last one to go this round. She will... Well, since she's got an ally on each of the other 3 of you, she is coming after Jex. Her weapon is a trident-looking device that as she comes towards you, she flips a switch and it lets off a low hum of a vibro weapon.
Oh, no.
And your defense is what?
2.
Alright, so... Alright, here we go. And she misses. Wow. That's pretty pathetic on her part. So she goes in for the attack, and like I mean, because it's the defense or the defense rating of your armor that helped out. So she hits you, but it like doesn't pierce the shell of your tough armor and whatnot. With her advantage, she'll pass the boost dice to her next ally to go, and we're now to the top of the round.
No.
Yeah.
Seraph hasn't gone yet.
Seraph went on your turn, or Seraph and you should be going, or I mean, Seraph and Ray should be going at the same time. You should have gone already. So.
Can I just have her have been defensive? Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine. You got defensive stance going. That will, if you're doing it as both your maneuvers, that basically gives a 2 setback dice to anyone attacking you before the end of your next turn. But it's also going to give you 2 setback dice to any attacks you make because you're in defensive stance and whatnot. both your maneuvers. So, top of the round, the lady will go again. She's going to try to really hurt Jex over here. Spending the destiny point to upgrade it. Boom! Hits. Your soak is 6, right?
Yep.
Alright, so it's got Pierce. So you take 2 wounds. Oh, and I forgot her boost die. She's the next ally to go. Yeah, so 2 wounds. And she's going to critical you. And she's going to use the Triumph to actually disarm you. And she like hits you in the arm with the crit. And is that, oh man, roll 12. Is that your first crit or is that your second one?
Second one.
So that's 22. Off balance, you get a setback on your next skill check. And that's your second crit. So, and if you roll below 50 on those, they're really pretty weak crits, but whatever. Next up would be 3 PCs. So whoever's going to go first.
Okay. Did Quinn drop the guy that he was messing with?
No, he is severely hurt, but I mean, like you gave him like one of those good slashes across the chest and a bit pretty deep, but he is still in the fight.
All right. Well, I'm going at him again.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't have a setback this time, do I? Just the 1 purple and 1 red.
1 purple, 1 red, and I believe that's yeah, that's it.
Alright. Still with both weapons out. Slash at him with the lightsaber, kind of do a flip of the saber and slice at him, and pull the trigger at him as well. And I nil. How the hell does that nil?
Kind of like how the boss lady had the 4 yellow, 2 purple, and 2 black, and nilled out too. I mean, well, he manages
That's
to evade. Next up would be another ally.
Dice roller hates me as a player.
Well, I guess me and Wraith will go.
Okay.
Wraith is gonna make another attack at the guy who just attacked us.
Okay.
And here comes the roll.
With misses, but you got a boost an advantage, so you can give someone a boost die, or the next ally a boost die.
Well, I'll give Seraph a boost die.
Okay, so Seraph will have the 2 setbacks from having been in a defensive stance, 1 advantage or boost dice from Wraith's attack, and then the normal purple, red, and whatever Seraph's attack roll is.
Okay, so she's gonna do the paired again. So
Okay.
So does that mean that means it's 1 difficulty and 2 red?
1 red, 2 purple.
1 red, 2 purple. Okay.
Okay, so you hit hard with this initial attack. You'll suffer 2 strain from the threats there. And that's
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You slice that guy in half.
Sweet. Alright.
Because that was enough to take
Can
him to
she
like
slice him right
-6.
down the middle? Can she slice him right down the middle and say,
sure.
talk about a splitting headache?
Yeah. That was enough to send him to like -6, I think. -7. Next up would be another ally. Jex or attack.
I guess Jax will go. So I have a question before I decide what I'm going to do here. If I wanted to grab, like, if I wanted to use my force power to try to grab someone and throw them down into the pit,
Okay.
would that do damage as like the fall from the pit, or would that do damage as to the throw because they're hitting something?
I would say that my gut reaction is that one, if you'd have to get enough force dice to actually pick them up, or force pips to pick them up and throw them. But I would say the damage would be either whatever the actual fall would be, or the force of the force throw, whichever is greater. Because you can either be throwing someone faster than gravity, but if you just knock them off the ledge, then gravity is going to do its work as well. So, I mean, it would be,
Okay.
and
So,
like throwing someone. I don't think that's something that
Don't
really.
try to drag him down by his feet.
Uh,
That way you at least put him on the ground.
well, I mean, I think there's two different force powers that one of them is going to be.
I have move.
You have
I'm
move.
gonna use. Yeah. And I have the hurl power, so I'm gonna try to hurl someone into the ground.
Okay. So with move, roll.
I'll be right back.
Also, I have another question. So, since I have magnitude upgrade and I have magnitude 3, and if I do manage to do this, can I throw someone down into the pit and pull my lightsaber to me at the same time?
Yes. Although so to throw someone into the pit would require activating the basic power and one strength upgrade. So you have to have 2 pips for that, and you would have to hit them with your ranged light combat check.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to grab them and throw them. And then if you wanted to use your magnitude if you happen to roll a 3rd pip, you could activate your magnitude to pull your lightsaber to you as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to get to hit them with the ranged attack. So unfortunately, because I don't have the agility for that.
Gotcha.
2 green dice, so that's unfortunate. Move is not very useful for me. I didn't realize I would need to do that.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I don't like about it is that it is a ranged combat check. I wish it had been. I mean, I understand why they didn't make it discipline, just because it would make discipline such a power stat for force users because it uses so many force powers. I just wish it had been something else other than ranged combat. But kind of is what it is. That's something I've been kind of looking at as a potential house rule in my game somewhere along the way. I just haven't figured out what else to use.
That's what I was about to say. You are the GM.
So I guess then I will just use the move power to try to pull my lightsaber to me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your force rating to make sure.
I rolled all those dice, but my force ratings are the only ones that count. Sorry.
Right. You got the 2 pips, so you get it to you. Pull it to your hand. And then you got your maneuver still if you want to defensive stance or aim. Or...
I will. Can you commit a force dice after you've used it the turn?
No, not after you've used it for the turn.
Okay. Then I guess I will take a maneuver to do Center of Being, which until the beginning of my next turn, attacks against my character increase their critical rating by 1.
Okay.
So.
Alrighty. So that was ally number 3. So now it's 2 NPCs' turn. The attack on Quinn and then Tack. Quinn, you have defense rating 1, right? Okay.
How many bad guys have really dropped?
One's dropped, and one guy has dropped, and the other 2 guys have both taken a significant lightsaber wound. At least that's what I would call it. When you've taken double-digit wounds and you've only got 14, it's a significant shot. Tack, you have defense rating 1 as well? Boom. He hits you. It's 7 damage coming your way, and you have soak of 3 or 4. So 4 wounds then. And then it is the last ally, which I'm trying to remember who hasn't gone yet this round.
attack. I'm gonna do a double aim
Okay.
to
So
get some extra boost.
okay, are you gonna double aim and attack, or are you just gonna sacrifice your action for a second maneuver and double aim and then attack next time?
Actually, I'll just do one.
Do one aim.
Yeah, I'll aim for my maneuver.
Okay, and then attack or.
And then attack again.
Okay.
Try and finish this guy off.
Alright.
Nope.
Wow.
Swing and a miss.
Man, the dice are hating you guys right now.
I mean, I have one skill in lightsaber.
I mean, to be fair, wait, you have a skill point in lightsaber?
I just have one green for brawn.
Oh, you just have the bronze. You don't have lightsaber.
I don't have any. No, it's not even a skill for artisan.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a trained. It's not a.
Yeah. That's one of the difficult things.
A Jedi that's not trained with a lightsaber, I don't understand it, but I didn't write the book.
Well, the thing is it's Force users, and not all Force users are Jedi.
True.
And even so, in the Jedi Order, there were the guys who trained with a lightsaber, and then the guys who swung one as a youngling, and then made one, and that was it. I mean, and you're one of the second group.
Pretty much.
You're a builder, not.
Well, I mean, like during the Clone Wars, they would not send him into a mission that needed a combat Jedi. That's when he most often paired with one of the three of you. Basically, is there'd be a bunch of clone troopers and one of you guys fighting, and he'd be slicing into some computer to get some schematic or something for you. So, either way, top of the round, the girl will go again. The Dark Force user, and she will attack Jex again, because why not?
And it's another crit. Watch.
Whiff. As Jex and her are doing the whole like epic duel the fate style thing. Clang, 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 clang. Whiff, whiff, whiff. Duck. Next is three of you guys.
I think we are gonna spring into action if that's okay with everybody else. Since we cleared our guy, it makes sense that we'd go next. Who are you going
to jump? One of the ones on whose foe are you going to double team?
We are going to attack the one our artisan buddy is having trouble with, seeing how we know he's not super proficient in attacking.
I would say that makes sense.
So it's going to be
probably can hold his own for a little while.
All right, so Wraith is going to go first. He's going to attack first.
Okay. And whiff.
And he has nothing.
Man, 3 dice rolls to roll with 3 of us with different. No successes, no advantages, no nothing.
And then Seraph is going to come in.
Okay. Boom, and Seraph drops.
Can I pass those successes on to the next person?
Advantages to whoever goes next.
Or actually, can I give the disadvantages to the Dark Side Force user?
All of them are Dark Side Force.
I mean the chick.
Okay, so you want to give her 2 set dark dice.
Yeah.
Okay. So you slash into this guy, and then you get, like, as he starts to fall, you give him a kick, and his body, like, falls into her leg as she has to jump over it in her duel with Jex. She'll have 2 setback dice on it. Next attack.
And as, like, a incidental, I asked Tack if he's okay.
Next up is another PC with
I'll
4
go.
boost dice.
With 4 boost dice? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or no, I'm sorry, not 4 boost dice, because he gave the 2 setback dice to her. That's right. I'm sorry.
So what is the difficulty of a lightsaber check against this person?
She has adversary 2, so it would standard be 2 purple, which becomes 2 red.
Okay, cool. And I get an automatic advantage on my roll because I have the superior quality of my lightsaber, which I forgot last time.
Yeah, don't forget those things.
Oh,
That's
why
the
am
one
I
thing
rolling
about it.
force dice?
I don't know.
Why am I rolling force dice?
I don't know.
Oh god, I got despair. The dice hate me!
So you got a success and 2 advantage. So you hit, and that does how much damage to her?
So that would deal 8 damage.
Okay, so 8 wounds. What do you want to use your 2
advantages for? I want to do Sunder twice on her weapon.
What?
Sunder. I'm going to damage her weapon twice.
Okay, I think Sunder requires 2 advantages to trigger.
Does it? I can't remember. I thought it was
That's the one thing about the different qualities of weapons is most of them are 2, but then there's some that are 1 or 3. And there might be some that are 4, and I just don't remember. Sunder. Okay, it's 1 to activate, so...
But I have to damage it 4 times to destroy it.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember... Can you look up the page for what the different... I think it basically gives it a setback dice with each level of damage on the item along the way to being destroyed. I think that's what it does. I'll have to... If you find that before...
In book ACRB is 170. So Age of Rebellion, it's page 170. Edge of the Empire, it's 157. And Force and Destiny, it's 164. I have the qualities.
Well, no, that's
pulled
the...
up on my computer.
Yeah, I read... Okay, so it's each step... I just don't know what the different damaging levels on an item I should do. I want to say it gives a setback for each level of wound it's got, basically. That's what I'm going to roll with, and we'll have to make a note to look that up after the session.
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. So that's number 2. Oh, and the despair.
Yeah.
Um...
When my lightsaber flickers out.
So, actually what I'm going to do here is that she has that. Okay. So, pick a number 1 through 4, Jex.
I say 3.
3? Okay. So, you're dueling with her, and y'all are going back and forth, and at several points throughout the duel, she's throwing, like, force lightning arcs at you and that kind of thing. And whenever that despair, basically, you're going to deflect one of those lightning arcs, and instead of going off harmlessly, it careens into Seraph. It only does 2 wounds after soak.
I'm sorry, Seraph.
So, Seraph, how many wounds are you at now?
I have 1 wound left.
Oh, nice.
Seraph staggers a little bit.
It's like, whoa!
she coughs up a little blood, action hero style, and wipes her mouth clean. And is
NPC's turn. The one on Quinn will attack. Okay, so Quinn, what's your soak again?
6.
6, so... Huh. So, no actual damage gets through to you, but it does hit, so the Triumph will trigger a crit.
Okay, so on the weapon damage thing, I can't find a whole lot on it, but what it's saying is there's 5 stages: undamaged, minor damage, moderate damage, major damage, and broken. So if he thunders 4 times, he destroys the weapon.
Yeah, he did it twice that time. So
it has to be thundered 2 more times for it to break.
Quinn, is this your first or second crit?
First.
Alright, 81. Winded. Until the end of the encounter, you cannot voluntarily suffer strain to activate any abilities or gain additional maneuvers. So you just don't have that option right now. And then from the 4 threats, he is going to... give you basically he goes all out like for the haymaker to your chest, which is causes the winded thing, but it pushes you back enough that you're going to get a free maneuver right now, and you're going to have a boost dice on your next attack. So what do you want your free maneuver to be? Do you want to fall back more? Do you want a defensive stance, aim, or something else?
Aim.
Okay. So like he went haymaker wild, and you're gonna step right back into it, but you got that, and you'll get a boost dice, so you'll end up with 2 boost dice on your next attack from that.
Okay.
And then I think, yeah, it's a PC's turn. Who hasn't gone this turn? Is it?
I haven't.
It's Quinn, which works out.
I'd like to retaliate.
Okay, sounds like a good plan.
And so yeah, he slams me in the chest. I get staggered back. I leap back forward, and as I leap, I do a nice little flurry maneuver and slash out with my lightsaber.
Okay. And you drop him. Just from the lightsaber. You then have 3 advantages and a triumph to spend.
Let's see, I didn't declare I was using my pistol, so I can't do that. The advantage I'd like to pass on to the next PC for boost.
Alright.
And the triumph. I'd say with the triumph, they see that I'm the only one who's not wounded, so I become the target for the next attacks.
Okay. I can see that. I mean, you dropped the last of her allies, and you're now the target. Okay.
And I gotta go yet still.
We messed up then because it was supposed to be 3 PCs and then an NPC and then a PC.
Yeah.
There's 2 of you ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, she did. I don't think she went yet. So.
She's first of the round. She went first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She attacked you, and then Jex attacked her right back, and then Seraph finished off attacks.
Came over, finished off with my guy, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we just didn't do the right number of attacks before their attack. So attack your turn. She's the only one left up. The other 3 are literally in pieces from lightsaber slashes.
I want to try and pull her weapon from her grasp.
Okay.
What's the difficulty? Is that 2 red, you said?
Yeah, 2 red.
But you have 3 boost dice.
So you succeed, and you get a despair.
Oh, man.
Huh.
So I impale myself with it?
Did you pull it too hard?
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of, is that you hit yourself with it. Like,
I pull it too hard instead of
I mean, I don't know what else you can do with a despair under those circumstances. I mean, it's either you hit yourself or someone else with it. I've already hit Seraph a couple of times. So.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to get hit again.
This is gonna be bad. What kind of damage
so you disarm her.
Totally.
What's your soak attack?
It's 3, so it would be 5, I guess, since it's the basic damage red, or how you want to do
well,
it?
it has enough pierce, so it's going to be it's going to pierce through your armor. I'm going to call it 4 wounds though, because it's not really like her really aiming it. It's you.
I said you want to roll and see like a percentage and see if I get the blunt end or the sharp end.
Let's see here. So it's.
Do you really want to put that up to chance?
Let's just call it 4 wounds because it could be as high as 6 and as low as 2.
Okay. 4 after soak or before soak?
After soak.
Oh, I'm down.
You're unconscious then?
Oh, yeah.
All right. 1 person down. Next up is top of the round. Her turn. She doesn't have a weapon. She will. She is going to lash out with Force Lightning at Quinn, since he made himself the target. Despite that everyone else is hurt, like one other person's hurt her, one other person's disarmed her, and one other person's injured her weapon. So... Wow, that kid is not happy.
I'm so sorry. He's actually laughing.
Oh. Okay.
He's going, ha 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 ha! Because he thinks he's talking.
Quinn, 6 wounds after ignoring soak. As lightning just lashes out and crackles across your body. It's not pleasant at all.
Yeah, Quinn would go rigid for a moment.
And actually, as it's lashing through you, the fear that you guys have been feeling, it actually feels like it's almost like it's like you're paralyzed in fear as it's lashing through. She's definitely calling on fear to power her dark side actions. And now it is you guys' turn. PCs.
You guys, I guess I'll. Do you guys mind if I?
Well, I was thinking I'm right next to her, so I would probably attack first.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it.
Okay. So Jex gets kind of angry, and he takes a big old swing at her. And boy, does he have!
Oh my goodness.
You could probably even crit with that, huh?
Yeah.
You may not need to. What's the damage on yours again, Jex?
8.
Okay. And then... so...
You could crit.
What's the crit on your... Crit rating of your weapon? Is it 2 or 3? Or 1?
It is, I believe it is a crit 2. I will double check. It is a critical rating 2.
Okay. So you can use advantages to crit if you want, and then you can use the triumph to crit. You can multi-crit in one action, and basically it's like giving... It's not that you're rolling multiple times, it's that you're giving yourself the plus 10 that a second crit would have automatically.
Oh, okay.
So... And it's treating them as though they've got 2 crits on them if they do it, so they'll get plus 20 if someone else crits on them. So.
What else can I do with that advantage?
You can pass boost down along to an ally. I mean, you could with 3 you could normally disarm her, I think, but she's already disarmed.
I would actually like to sunder her armor.
Okay.
Or you could.
So triple. Okay. So you're sundering armor.
3 times.
If you do it 3 times, that means it's only got 1 left. So I'm going to. Her armor normally gives her 2 melee defense and 2 soak. So she's going to lose 1 off of both of them, and I'm going to roll a d100 to see whether she loses the soak or the melee defense as the third. So even will be the soak, odd the melee defense. So even. So she lost both soak and 1 melee defense off of her armor.
And yeah, I crit with the triumph. So.
Crit with the triumph. So roll percentile. 61. Slightly dazed, disoriented until the end of the encounter. Which gives her a setback dice to everything. Alright, next up.
Since Quinn just got hit by force lightning, I'm going to assume I'd be the next one to go.
Unless Quinn wants to go. I don't care. It doesn't matter, y'all get to pick.
Can I, as an incidental, can I be like, hey, you need to surrender, like,
Okay, so you're going to give her the option to surrender and then let Quinn go, basically?
Yeah, I'm a Jedi. I gotta give her at least a chance.
Quinn, you're up. You gonna?
I thought that can't just be like me going surrender.
Yeah, well, you say that, but y'all still have the actions, and she's already gone this turn. So, like, unless other people want to hold their action to see what her response is, then people still get to go.
Wait,
oh yeah, no.
When I say that, can I put my saber near her, like?
You're pointing at her,
like,
threateningly. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Quinn's up.
Quinn, having just been zapped by all this lightning, sort of angrily roars and runs at her and swings and fires his blaster at her.
Okay.
And that would be 11 from the lightsaber and 1 to hit with the...
The lightsaber cuts her down, then.
Oh, okay, well, the blaster bolt still hits her like as she's falling.
She's an inanimate piece of body falling to the ground. All right.
What happened to Jedi Code? Yeah. She was unarmed.
Throwing force lightning. Yeah, that's unarmed.
And we were 4 against 1.
Ask Mace Windu how that turned out.
Well, I'm okay with taking the point of conflict for attacking basically an unarmed person. So
yeah, y'all have cracked up quite a bit so far.
Yeah,
every time you're like, yeah, I lash out in anger. There's conflict.
Yep, that one was definitely an anger strike.
All right. You guys have brought quiet back to the forest. Tack is over there laying down. Seraph is barely standing. Wraith is only standing because of the painkillers in him. Quinn's relatively uninjured compared to most of the others.
I had 1 stim pack left. Can I give it to Tack?
Sure thing. So Tack, you'll heal 5 wounds from that.
You're welcome.
I think that gets you back to your feet at least.
Yeah, I'd hand each of them. Let's see, I've got 5 stim packs, so I'd hand each of my companions a stim pack and use 1 on myself.
Okay. Okay, so as you guys are doing that, don't forget to make your discipline or cool check to recover strain if you're down any. At this point, while your fight with the Rataki natives went down, the 4 ARC 170s that you saw have zeroed in on the previously landed one, and you see them doing a strafing run on the jungle up ahead, like still half a mile from you, basically, but they're strafing in that general area. And then you hear another rumble of an approaching ship. Sometimes when you look up ships on Google, all you find is the Lego version of stuff.
Yeah. Quinn would look to everybody and say, well, it seems our day is not going so well. We should hurry up and finish what we're doing and get off this planet.
I really miss the archives right now.
You see this ship approaching in the atmosphere. It's an unfamiliar model, and you feel where you thought you felt. I mean, like y'all had all felt the fear in the Force before. Now you just feel unmitigated rage coming your way.
Oh dear.
We should be leaving. It's not wise to stay here any longer.
I agree.
All right, you are closer to your ships than you are to where the strafing run is occurring. You see fires breaking out because, I mean, the lasers are just cutting through the forest and burning stuff, and then you hear an explosion of the impact of one of the hits being a direct hit to the other Arc 170. So Quinn has voiced his opinion that y'all need to, or a couple of you have voiced the opinion that you need to get out of here. What
Do we feel like a life force has been severed?
You have not felt a break from the slight connection that you and your master still have. You have not felt that break. But there is a presence in the Force that is coming that you are unable to deny that it is extremely powerful and extremely dark on that ship that's coming in for a landing.
We don't have another ship to save her. Even if we could.
We did I mean, like, she'll eventually comply with running, but she's going to be the last one. And mostly it's going to be because she knows that she can't take much more punishment, and Wraith really needs to be treated medically.
Okay. As you guys turn to run back to your ships and exit the planet, you see the 4 Arc 170s, after doing multiple strafing runs of that area, all start to kind of land in a pattern with the scimitar, the Sith scimitar in formation, basically landing in the general area where that Arc 170 is. Apparently, you guys have gone unnoticed so far. The question is, are you guys going to take off as fast as you can, or are you going to wait till everybody's in their ships ready to take off and then all launch? Like, what's y'all's plan there?
We should wait till they've landed before we take off.
Okay.
And as we're running, let's decide where we're going to.
We don't have much fuel left. We're going to have to find a more civilized planet or a station.
Is there any places nearby?
Y'all got a couple of different. I mean, it's just a matter of how big of a population center do you. Basically, the bigger the population center you go to, the more access you'll have to fuel or possible other ships to steal or buy or whatever the case may be. But also, the more likely you're going to be identified as Jedi. So I mean, it's kind of one of those.
I mean, maybe we might be able to go more unnoticed because there's so many people. I mean, our guys in full Jedi battle regalia might have to drop some of their armor.
This is true.
But I mean, I think right now we need to go to at least a medium populated planet that's going to have the technology we need. At least, if not a highly developed one.
We will say that you set course for a planet nearby by the name of Lothal.
I would like to flip a destiny point here.
Okay.
That I have a contact on Lothal that can help us out.
Okay. Sure thing. As you guys make the decision, you're like, I know a guy that we helped save his factory on one of my missions whenever I was younger. Assuming he's still there, he'll be willing to help us out. He knows that the Jedi aren't assassins and that kind of thing. So.
Can I flip a destiny point? Or
No, we already got one for that particular situation. Alright, so you guys are waiting until they've landed, giving them time to get out of their ships, basically, hopefully before you take off and just scatter and then make your way to Lothal. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say we all, hyperdrive to separate locations and then hyperdrive to Lothal. Does that make sense? If we can spare it.
You probably are splitting up into your pairs as well, to where you're leaving the atmosphere even in separate pairs, so that in case you do get chased, at least someone's not going to shoot down all 4 of you.
Yeah, I was going to say, Quinn, when taking off, he's going to Lothal, but taking off, he's going to go in a different direction initially than everybody else.
Okay. So y'all are splitting up to where the odds are more successful that at least most of you will make it off the planet, if nothing else. Hopefully all of you, but at least most of you.
We all 4 go in opposite directions.
Okay. As you guys hit the ignition through the atmosphere, and start away. Seraph, you will notice this the most, but all four of you will feel this. You will feel the force presence of the Jedi Master, who you can feel her presence initially as you start away. Like you can almost feel like whenever you guys launch, as you take off, you feel her presence come to bear on you, and then you feel that rage pointed in your general direction as well, and you actually feel like her presence is shielding your presence from him, kind of masking it, to where he's not getting a good read on your force presence, basically. And then all of a sudden you feel her cry out in the force as she's cut down. But she gave you the few precious seconds to get away.
Seraph screams out like, "No!" and is like crying now.
Yeah. And it's kind of like I'm trying to remember which movie it is where someone does that and then like hits the astrogation lever anyway because there's nothing else they can do. It's that kind of moment for Seraph. And the rest of you feel it, but not to the same impact since it's Seraph's master that was killed. Even Wraith starts whimpering in the back of your fighter, Seraph, because
I was actually gonna say Wraith is kind of like dog crying.
Yeah. Not because Wraith has the bond with your master, but because you guys have that emotional bond. He doesn't really know why you're so upset, but he knows you're not happy, and he's not happy when you're not happy. So, all right, and that, guys, let's see, we're 2.5 hours in. That is basically what I had planned for tonight. We will pick up again next week, where it'll be 6 months down the line, basically, for your characters. You guys will have transitioned from your 4 fighters. Jex, your contact, will have come through. He will basically sell off your 4 fighters for you guys and get y'all a transport ship of some kind. We'll figure out what that is in the downtime. Next thing we need to do, though, is a Tides of Change. And this particular Tides of Change is a little more restrictive than some of the ones I do. Basically, who from your past, your character's past, not the group's past, but each of you individually, someone from your past, is an unexpected ally who contacts you with a lead for next time. It could be Separatists, it could be clone troopers, it could be basically just not another Jedi, because it's someone from your past.
I think it's actually the commander of the battalion of clones that I led.
Okay, so your Jex is being would be contacted by a clone commander. Okay. Quinn or Seraph or attack.
Attack would be contacted by someone on Coruscant that worked at the archives with them. That wasn't
Okay. One of the civilians that works at the archives.
Yeah.
Do you want it to be someone who actually worked at the archives, or maybe someone that did research at the archives?
Maybe someone that did research. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure about how your alternate universe works, but would Senator Organa like sending us like a warning and kind of like an update of what actually happened work?
I don't want to bring Senator Organa in for you guys at this point. I don't mind it being a senator or something like that, but I just don't want to bring in Organa himself.
How about a senator that was present at like the fall of the Republic, and he or she is able to give us more of an in-depth on what happened and who the players were in that final kind of.
So a senator that was President Palpatine's speech that you've worked with in the past for some reason or another, and so we need Quinn's now.
pirate that Quinn let go instead of capturing in his past contacts him.
Okay. Alrighty, that gives me what I need for the Tides of Change proposals. We'll run those votes for. I think our next game isn't for 3 weeks because of the 2 weeks from now is the May the 4th game. So it's 3 weeks for. I don't know what the Chandrafan Pirate has anything to do with, but I'll have to find out about that later. So it'll be 3 weeks. So this poll we'll let run until May the 4th, and we'll close it on May the 4th. So there'll be 2 weeks of voting for this particular one. As far as experience and gear for next session, you guys will wind up with 60 XP to advance your characters with. And any of the gear you currently have, you're going to be able to sell for its full value, the 100% value, because of the contact Jex has. So you can sell it and rebuy something else if you want. But other than that, you'll each end up with an additional 2,000 credits over these 6 months from buying and selling and that kind of thing. So to further advance things or upgrade things or whatever the case may be. So for those who are watching, thank you again, and join us next time in 3 weeks for Episode 2, Anger. Thank you, and have a good night.